Harry
We,
Maguire kept Erling Haaland in his pocket.
oh yes,
The
let's do it.
amount, the amount of
Oh,
aerial duels that Slab had won. Oh my god!
I
Like
could not
this
believe it.
is this is the best redemption arc football has ever seen.
Yeah,
Like this
yeah,
is this
yeah,
is fucking Pushpa rising from the ashes. I haven't seen Pushpa.
yeah.
I don't know if there is rising from the ashes that happens in that movie. You know South Indian movies better than I
I've
do.
seen it, so it's a very apt metaphor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
correct. Then fucking Harry Maguire is the Pushpa of our generation.
Let's
Fucking
go. I mean, where
beautiful.
Pushpa wears a sari, but still, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Harry Maguire does it, but
Ha-
it's fine.
do we call him Sari Maguire?
Jordan flag is back, baby.
Oh, I've missed this so much. I've missed
Yeah,
this
that's
so fucking
incredible.
much. Yeah, Mukesh is back on the pod. Why are you making these faces, Mukesh? Why?
There is some background noise that I don't appreciate.
That's okay. The wonderful nature of technology is that all of that will be magically erased out, or it won't. In which case, Mukesh is at fault. But that's
That's
uh, that's
and I
what you
think
get for
yeah,
watching a free YouTube slash Apple Podcast slash Spotify show. We are not professionals.
and I think people are. That's the charm of this podcast.
That
It really
is,
breathes.
it's the
It doesn't
rustic,
just produce. Yeah,
rustic charm. कभी कभी गरीबी में ही मजा आता है.
yeah.
What is happening, man? You've been away for a while. Your sister got married. When is your turn coming?
Oh my God, Amok, please. Not only am I sick, I'm sick of every part of that sentence. Talking about weddings, talking about my sister's wedding, thinking about it, then being asked the question about my own wedding, and just weddings in general. I'm sick of everything. I am
Yeah,
sleep deprived. I am so happy to be back in Bombay.
yeah.
Like the minute I smelled Bombay's dirty smell when I landed, and it was the first time, I think in 25 days I smelled it, I was like, home, sweet home. I
Yeah,
was so happy to be back,
awesome.
just
Am
away
I,
from
I
all nonsense.
have I joined the ranks of your family? Do I consider myself as family now and asking you when you're getting married? Hey, when are you giving us good news?
Yeah, you know how they say friends of family, and I'm like, this now that's not actually a compliment.
Yeah, that's not. It's not.
It's not a
And
compliment.
uh, and because I hate you, I will keep asking you this from time to time, not just in this episode, but in life.
Oh no, which is oh no.
Yeah, yeah, it's
Listen,
gonna
I'm the
happen.
only one on the podcast who turns up at some level at least.
That
Yeah,
is true. That is true.
like you don't want to lose me.
We are currently operating at 50%
Yeah,
capacity.
like
But
this is,
I would
and
have
we.
you know, Mukesh,
uh,
that while you were away and while the rest of them were also away, I was still doing this podcast with a bunch
I
of
know,
very, very nice guests who were
I know.
kind enough to join in.
Listen, Ringo Starr keeps performing. It doesn't mean the Beatles are back.
I don't care what you say about me today because after yesterday's game,
Yes,
I think nothing can bring me down. Nothing.
that's true.
Nothing can bring me down. I, I mean, let's just fucking get into it, man. Man City won, Man United 2. The derby has been won. Ruben Amorim has bested Pep Guardiola twice in 2 months. Once
Yeah.
with Sporting and once with Man United.
And
He
Sporting
changed.
was the better team. That
Yeah,
was the best part.
try, please try putting in as many digs as you can. It's not going to
Yes.
work. It's not going
No,
to work.
I'm actually very happy Man United won. You have no idea. I was very shamelessly supporting Man United to the point.
Wait. There is no shame in supporting Man United. There is shame in supporting Man City. That's the one
That's
that you're
um,
talking about. There is
that's
genuine shame in supporting Man City. There is very little shame. I'll give you that in supporting Man United. Not as much as supporting Man City, but you can support Man United. It's fine.
yes. So I was very much rooting for it to the point. My girlfriend was like, "Wait, isn't this a team that you hate?" And I was like, "It's
Yeah,
complicated. Whoever in season 34, you will not understand what's happening. I can't
yeah,
explain the
yeah,
geopolitics of
yeah.
football."
Explaining geopolitics of football to better halves is an adventure sport in itself.
Yeah.
बहुत
No. So
complicated है, बहुत dangerous हो सकता है,
yeah,
and the result may outcome in death.
yeah. I can't. Like it all started in Qatar one day, and that's why I'm like. I'm like, that story ended with that statement.
Yeah. But yes, what a fantastic game, though. Guardiola giving Man City the lead early on. Again, a set piece, much like how Arsenal broke through Man United earlier on in the last week. It was again a set piece that undid Man United in this one. But overall, I felt like the performance from Man United was much better. Man City, again, their performance was not great. They were not as decisive as we have known Man City to be over the last few years. And the wider malaise that they're going through right now with having what one win in the last 10, 11 games, it's showing in their performance. It is showing in how the players are reacting to situations. They're making mistakes that you don't expect AI generated robots to make. It's weird. This is a glitch in the matrix.
Yeah, it's so beautiful to
It
see.
is, yeah, it is fantastic.
Again, it's one of those things. You always think of glitch in the matrix as a bad thing, and I'm like,
No,
more
no.
glitches, please.
Yeah.
Glitches, more glitches.
That's the title of the episode, clipping that. But no,
Oh,
I actually honestly had told people around me that I feel like United are going to nick it because of the
yeah,
perform. Yeah, yeah. I was very confident that United will do something in this game. Like they will upset Man City in a certain way. It will be a very hard fought one. It will be towards the end. Maybe it'll be a draw, but we'll get a
yeah,
result out of this game for sure. Just purely going by what City have been doing over the last few weeks,
yeah.
and the evidence of there being a new manager bounce at United. I know that we've also had two defeats under Amorim, and even the victories that we've had haven't been decisive victories, but they have been victories nonetheless. But overall, there is a difference in the system. There is some sort of progress that is kind of showing, and all of that kind of made me think, ki, there is a possibility that we will edge this.
So I was 100% sure that it'll be a draw. And
Hmm.
exactly what you said, that someone will score first, but there will be a goal in the last 10 minutes or something, which will
Yeah,
make it a draw.
yeah,
Whether City does it, United does it, I was so sure about it, but I could not have predicted the script. This felt very much like that classic Champions League final of United, where Solskjaer was the hero.
yeah,
Just 2 minutes, quick goals, and like
yeah,
the whole game. Honestly, I was texting on the group also saying this. This is so boring to watch.
yeah.
But in the end, like it was incredibly exciting by
Yeah.
the end of it.
I mean, to be fair, like till much later in the game, Edison had nothing to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it was, I think, one shot from Ahmad that he had to save, which was his first save of the match, which came at about, I think, 55, 60, 65 maybe
Yeah.
minutes. So he had pretty much nothing to do throughout the game. The other person who had pretty much nothing to do throughout the game was Erling Haaland, because Harry Maguire just kept him in his pocket. No shots on target for
Oh,
Erling
bro,
Haaland,
just
and
say that statement again and relish
right,
every word of it.
right.
Because like
Harry
we,
Maguire kept Erling Haaland in his pocket.
oh yes,
The
let's do that.
amount, the amount of
Oh,
aerial duels that Slab had won. Oh my god!
I
Like
could not
this
believe
is
it.
this is the best redemption arc football has ever seen. Like
Yeah,
this
yeah,
is
yeah,
this
yeah.
is fucking Pushpa rising from the ashes. I haven't seen
Fuck
Pushpa. I
yeah.
don't know if there is rising from the ashes that happens in that movie. You know South Indian movies better than I
I've
do.
seen it. So it's a very apt metaphor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
correct. Then fucking Harry Maguire is the Pushpa of our generation.
Let's
Fucking
go.
beautiful.
Pushpa wears a sari, but still. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Harry Maguire does it,
Ha-
but it's fine.
Do we call him Sari Maguire?
Gordon Flag is back, baby!
Oh, I've missed this so much. I've missed
Yeah.
this so fucking much. No, I mean, all the guests that came on, all great guys. We'll have you on again. We're very thankful that you came
Not the
on.
same sur. The
Not the
sur
same.
is not the same.
It's kind of, but yes, it was a fantastic performance from Harry Maguire. It was a complete performance. Manuel Ugarte played like a fucking beast. Shades of the Jisung Park marking Andrea Pirlo back then. Like very, very focused on his job. Kept Kevin De Bruyne quiet. Amad Diallo is again just on fire under Ruben Amorim. But let's talk about the decision of leaving players out that Amorim took, because Garnacho and Rashford were not even in the squad.
Yeah, so tell me about that. Was that injury concerns? Was that like what was
Nothing.
it?
It wasn't disciplinary, it wasn't injury. He said that it is because he looks at everything. He looks at how the players eat, how they interact with their teammates, what clothes they wear when they're coming for a match, how they conduct themselves, how they play in training. And basis on all of that, they were not available for selection. But next week is a new week. If they apply themselves in training, they'll be in the squad. So he's made it very clear it doesn't matter who you are or how important you think you are. If you're not playing up to the standards that he's going to set, you're going to be out. In fact, there's rumors now, and no, I would say more than rumors. There's clear reports now that Rashford's going to be put up on sale in the winter transfer window.
Oh
If not,
wow.
yeah. So there is
Yeah.
there is a there is a possibility that we might move Rashford on, and I think that's fair. It's
That
sad
is
because he's an academy product. He's played really well for United over the years, but his consistency hasn't been the same. He's gone through so many managers who've just not been able to get the right tune out of him. And
yeah.
if now Amorim is saying that he is finding it hard to live up to the standards, then it makes sense to sell him because that will be pure profit. It helps us in FFP.
Yeah, yeah, and go to a place where the standards are lower or the expectations are lower because
Yeah.
I think I think the only thing in defense of Rashford is probably that he was overworked during the Solskjaer era.
Hmm.
But I think he had a back injury, and despite that, he was forced to play.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't see like I think he's gotten the longest rope
Yeah.
than any other United player, not even
Yeah.
Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah.
Fernandes. And
Fernandes.
uh, and I think the idea that oh let's be easy on him, he has crazy expectations. I think that's a little unfair on every other player, considering like Harry Maguire has managed to give himself a redemption after
Yeah.
everything that he's been through.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
know,
वो
like
जेल गया. Harry Maguire was
yeah,
in jail.
yeah.
Like he was captain, then he wasn't captain. He was in jail. He was called fucking slabhead. He was called all the names in the
And
world.
still, him being called Pushpa might be the biggest thing.
But yeah, fantastic stuff. I think I was I'm just very very happy that we ended up with the 3 points in the way that we did,
Okay. I
right?
have a
Because
point.
because
Yeah,
because if United lost this game, then
yeah,
the narrative would be very different. And
yep,
it would be very easy for fans and the media, and media to definitely would because they all want a United story, to turn on Amorim. कि like भाई
yeah,
क्या कर रहा है, गार्नाचो को स्क्वाड में भी नहीं डाला, रैशफोर्ड को
yeah,
स्क्वाड में भी नहीं डाला.
yeah.
Of course against City you're going to lose, you don't have any attacking options. But the fact that they got the victory has vindicated his decision, and I think
No,
that puts him on a very strong position going forward and dealing with this squad.
no, for sure. I think the least happy person in all of Manchester when that second goal was scored was probably Rashford, closely followed by Garnacho.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure he was like, see, this is what happens if you don't put me
Hmm.
in a squad. I
Yeah.
could have been there. And even the commentators were saying, and a lot of Twitter talk was saying that, which is what I agree, which is that maybe if Rashford was there,
Yeah.
right, against a tired Walker, against a tired Guardiola, etc., he could have done the running, even just a
Yeah.
straight line running
Yeah.
with some streaky pass by Fernandes might have pulled off a winner, but you really need that.
Yeah.
But do you think that luck saved Amorim, or do you think that it was the right call to miss out on Garnacho? Because I feel like Garnacho has also been slightly in form a little bit, if I'm not wrong,
Yeah,
from
you know,
whatever.
he's also not been in as scintillating form as Ahmad, right?
Yeah,
Like
okay, right.
Garnacho, he's got the capabilities to create attacks and create goal scoring opportunities. But the one big criticism that everybody has about Garnacho this season is that his decision making is very poor. Like when
Mm,
there is a pass available, when there is a teammate in a better scoring position, Garnacho will still try and take the shot himself.
mm,
And 6 times out of
mm.
10, it will not work out. And those are
Yeah,
not great odds. So that is a little bit frustrating.
and you can't afford that against City. Like no
Yeah,
matter how
you
shit
can't.
they are, you can't
Yeah,
afford that.
you can't. So in this game, you had Ahmad on the right wing back position, you had Dalo on the left wing back position. Mazraoui was also from center defense, going up and helping in attack as well. So that was good. Like there was still good attacking balance in the team, and Hoyland is uh, the best striker available at this at Amorim's disposal. So it's disposable. Yeah. There's only one disposable person here, and that is Luke Shaw. He should go. खेलता ही नहीं है mention. But yeah, so I think it was a good decision. And performance wise, also, I felt like City were not at the races as people would expect them to be, which made the job slightly easier for United. Not saying that United's performance was absolutely flawless. It wasn't a great performance. Like you said, it seemed like a very boring derby when you started watching it.
Yeah, for the first
But
60-65 minutes, it was very
yeah,
boring.
but they still turned up. They were still pressing. They were still fighting for the balls. They were still making the right decisions in their passing. In the second half, they started having control of possession as well, and they kept pushing City. They kept pushing City back, and eventually the opportunities opened up, and then they took it. So
Yeah,
it
I think
was,
they played really well, and they were alert enough to expect a mistake from
yeah,
City, which I think
yeah,
maybe a previous Manchester United side might not have. They would have been a little shocked, and it's what you said about Garnacho, right? That
yeah,
they would have been shocked and made a poor decision. Like I did think it was incredible that they pounced on Nunes,
yeah.
not Nunes, Matthew Nunes,
Mateus Nunes,
Nunes.
Nunes.
Where like I think they pounced on that perfectly. Like they
Yeah,
forced the crap out of a penalty,
yeah, yeah,
which sort of like sealed the game for me. Like
yeah,
that, you knew once that penalty was scored,
yeah,
City were not going to score another one.
yeah, yeah.
And then it was incredible that they forced another error.
Yeah. What do you think about Kyle Walker's performance, though? Let's talk about that because that was a big
Which
talking
one?
point.
Which performance? I mean, both
The,
were shit. So I
yeah,
guess.
no, not the footballing performance. That though is irrelevant, I feel. But him going down so dramatically after Hoyland squares up to him was
Yeah,
frankly just embarrassing. It
the
was
acting was
embarrassing.
still better than the defending, I would say.
Yeah, yeah, fair.
Because until the replays came, I believed something happened. So I guess
Yeah.
to sell that performance in that pitch was nice.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
But it was great for Soylent to actually call him out on that on social media. Like it was great. And Kyle Walker has also replied to that saying, unacceptable. No, Kyle, what's unacceptable is you falling like a pack of cards after being given a titchki by another player. Like, तेरे को अगर इतना
Wait,
भड़ास
really?
दिखाने का है.
This I haven't seen. Kyle Walker saying unacceptable. In
Yeah,
fact, I would be like, dude, take the joke. It's done. Like,
yeah,
like take the hit. Like, this
yeah,
is one of those moments. The best thing you can do is just take the hit, laugh it
yeah,
off, and move on.
yeah,
Oh man,
yeah.
but disgraceful
Absolutely
performance
disgraceful.
on both levels
Yeah.
by Kyle
I mean,
Walker.
in the immortal words of Erling Haaland, stay humble, huh? Stay humble. Stay humble. That's all that matters. Stay humble. But on the other side, in the title race, Liverpool dropped points as well. 2-2 against Fulham. You are very happy as a Liverpool fan because City didn't get any points at all.
Yeah, yeah.
But now there is a new title challenger in the mix in Chelsea. We'll get to
I
Chelsea in a bit. But Liverpool's performance, let's talk about that. Are things starting to look a little shaky for Arne Slot in Liverpool?
I think it was Konate's injury against Real Madrid that has really derailed them a little bit because before that they were known for being a tight team that doesn't concede too many goals,
Hmm.
and in the two games that Konate has not been there, they've conceded 5 goals.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's three against Newcastle and two against Fulham,
Yeah.
which is like both of them are very good teams, and you expect to concede a goal or two, but I think five between two games across these two teams is too many.
Yeah.
That's I think 3 goals too many. So I think that's because uh, one, the defense has been leaky. Konate has been good. Their partnership, they have a set communication now with Joe Gomez coming in, Kwanzaa coming in. It's derailed the communication a little bit, and it causes people to do very stupid things.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's because I think Arne Slot's game management was incredible, right? I think when he was reduced to I think 9 outfield players, he made it a 3-3-3 and said, "You guys still fucking attack. We're not gonna be like soak
Yeah.
in the pressure. None of that."
Yeah.
Which I thought was incredible. And I think when they had gone up to one, he threw all four attackers. There was like no signs of slowing down. I think he was very clear what the instruction was, and I think he threw Gravenberch as a centre back and said, "You guys work extra hard." So I think Slot himself is doing well. It's just lack of resources and injury to key resources.
Yeah.
But I think Slot himself, I'm very impressed with. And now I don't know if it's because the kid who I expected to get like 60 or 100 is getting 80 or 100. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what a guy.
Yeah.
But I actually think I would say it's pretty much Robertson's mistake. Like, it's just tired legs.
Yeah.
I think maybe those legs are gone. like those
Are
are,
you saying that Robertson's time at Liverpool is up, or
yeah,
he's
yeah. I
declining, like
very
his
much.
career is on the
I
decline
think
now?
he is very much him and Wataru Endo come on at the 65th minute as
Right.
substitute. I think those are two guaranteed substitutions. One in the midfield, one in the defense.
Yeah.
But they're definitely substitutions
Right.
at 65th minute. They are not starters.
Yeah.
Robertson is, I think, only starting because you can't use Joe Gomez because Konate is not there. I think that's
Right.
the only reason he's pretty much starting.
Right. Right.
Uh,
I mean,
and Simicas is injured. So
in January, I think the best thing to do is we have two left backs that are available who are world class. By the way, Luke Shaw and
Luke
Terrell
Shaw,
Malacia,
correct.
fantastic left backs.
yeah.
एक के प्राइस में दो ले लो यार. Fucking
Between the
like,
both of them, they have one good leg.
yeah.
I mean, we can use one of Robertson's legs. We can
Yeah.
we create one
Just
compact
few,
player.
you know how like three kids go into a bar on top of each other on a
Yeah,
trench coat.
and they're all equally short. They're not too tall.
Yeah,
You can
yeah.
pass off as
So
maybe
three left
slightly taller
backs.
than
Yeah, put
Harvey.
three left
Just like
backs together in a gunny race and make
yeah.
them as one left back, and that would be great.
But yeah, so this
Uh,
is clearly a Robertson mistake. Much like how it was a Nunes mistake in the City United game, this was clearly a Robertson game. Liverpool should have clearly won this game. It
right.
should have been a 2-1 to Liverpool. Unfortunate that it became a 2-2.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it's good to
Yeah.
see Jota back.
Yeah.
Uh, because Nunes is again, he needs to go. It's done.
He's done. What?
He, yeah, I
You're
think he's done.
tired of the chaos theory of Darwin Nunes.
Tired of the chaos, hurry, tired of the lack of composure.
Yeah.
I'm like, Arey, you're still an elite footballer, dude. Compose yourself,
But
relax.
here's the thing, right? I don't think he knows he's an elite footballer.
I don't think
I
so.
think in his head he's still playing with his friends
Yeah, yeah,
on the
yeah,
streets.
yeah. I think he doesn't know how big a football pitch is. He doesn't know how big a football goal is. Sometimes he's
Yeah.
playing rugby, sometimes he's playing some 5
Yeah.
5v5 in the street with
Yeah. He's still
Uruguay,
thinking he's
Uruguay.
still thinking that the goal is between two backpacks.
Yep, exactly.
you know.
Yes.
So
And he still thinks that if he doesn't score, some like in some favela, some mafia don will come put a gun to his head. Come on, dude. You just
or
people like chant
yeah, yeah.
from 100 feet away. That's probably the
Yeah.
worst that can happen.
I mean,
But
I wouldn't put it past him to actually think that because उसके बाजू में teammate Luis Diaz के बाप को kidnap किया था, so like, you know, he's like, whoa,
I think
shit
he
does get
plays.
real here.
I think he plays for the Liverpool in Uruguay, which probably has some mafia connections. He
Yeah,
doesn't know that he's playing for the British one. So anyway,
yeah,
I think
yeah,
Nunes and Robertson need to go. Replacements need to be bought.
yeah,
So that to me, if like okay, here's my prediction. If in January there are no replacements for left back and a midfielder or an attacker, at least a midfielder, if not a full-fledged attacker,
yeah.
Liverpool is coming a comfortable second and third, right?
Comfortable. What? Fuck, I would love for United to come a comfortable second or third.
No, no, no. I mean, if the talk is about them being title challengers, which I think
Right,
itself is a lot,
right,
um, I would say it comes down to exactly those two positions: the
right.
strike, the 88 million striker, and the washed legs of left back from Hull City.
5 million, so it balances itself
Balance,
out, I guess, in
across
a
two
larger way.
players.
But yes, the big threat, of course, to Liverpool right now is surprisingly coming from the 20,000 players of Chelsea, because Enzo Maresca is fucking weaving magic over there. Chelsea are currently second in the table, 2 points behind Liverpool. They've beaten Spurs 4-3 in the midweek, and now over the weekend they beat Brentford 2-1. They just go on winning. Like
Yeah, I know.
all the banter that we had at the start of the season, like how many players are there, what is Maresca going to do with all of them, how has he treated Raheem Sterling, he's let Conor Gallagher go, Ben Chilwell is out, who are all these kids, how are they going to perform? He's answered all those questions one by one.
I know, and I think what has actually helped him compared to any other manager before him is the fact that there is absolutely no pressure on him. right? He was one of the few guys who gets to have $1 billion and not have any pressure,
Yeah.
which if you think about it is actually the ideal life.
That is that is the ideal life, right?
That
Because
is the ideal life.
I'm sure even Mukesh Ambani with all his riches has pressure. Like उसको मतलब he
Exactly.
still has to deal with like oh fuck कल ये सब गया तो क्या होगा, you
But
know,
Maresca has
like
the
fucking
ideal job.
बेंचो आनंद की शादी पे 15 करोड़ के किए और भी turns out to be a fucking asshole, then we are fucked. Who's going to take over the company? So yeah, like I feel like yeah, Maresca has no pressures.
Yeah. So like I mean just speaking in terms of trends, like I do think it's not a coincidence that the two managers who walked into big teams with minimal pressure are the managers who are doing the best.
Yeah.
Because Slot looked like the most classic mid-table Liverpool fan. You know, he would
Yeah.
be a comfortable eighth.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and
He's
Maresca looked like a comfortable seventh.
he's just a foreign Sean Dyche.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Or worse, foreign, like even more, or another Ten Hag.
Yeah.
You know, so like, but whereas the managers with the most amount of pressure,
I love how in the middle of this you still managed to take an indirect dig at Man United and me.
you said today is you will not be faced, but
Mukesh,
yes,
when are you getting married? Yeah.
phase for a phase.
Right. Yeah.
Um,
But yeah. So I mean, he's doing really well at Chelsea. He's getting Jadon Sancho to perform as well. But disclaimer, guys. A few good performances from Sancho doesn't mean he's the best player in the world, and he was so right at leaving Man United. देखो देखो कैसे सीजन चलता है. We are just happy that because Chelsea are so high up in the table and they're going to perform in the end up in the positions that the clause for Sancho's transfer needs them to end up in. We are getting paid. We are
no,
getting
but
paid
I
some big
tell you
bucks.
what is going to pay off for Chelsea, which also I bet on. I think in the beginning of the season when we spoke, which is that every squad right now, every top six, top eight squad needs 1,000 players, right? With
Hmm.
the number of games,
With the
I'm going to
number
talk
of
about
games.
1,000 good players, and they're the only team prepared for that outcome.
Yeah. Which
They
is, I
have
mean, they're doing that in the Conference League. They're playing a completely different squad.
they have I think every squad dreams of having two players for every position. They have three,
Yeah.
right? So I think they're very well prepared and they're on course to win it, and they will win it only because they are set for they're set for the injury challenge that's going to hit them. But it's
Yeah.
really not going to hit them because they're challenged. But it's like you can see by Jan, I think Liverpool will have two strikers, one midfielder, and it's going to be a 5v5.
Hmm.
And so I think it'll catch up for United also at some point.
Yeah.
Amorim will.
No, definitely. I mean, what do you mean catch up for United? We've had so
No,
many injuries all
I
throughout.
meant catch up for Amorim in his style. Like he will figure out a style. They will reach an equilibrium and then it'll collapse by
हाँ
Feb.
वो तो ऑलरेडी हो ही गया है बिकॉज लूक शॉ आते आते वापस इंजर हो गया है.
Exactly.
Mason Mount also in yesterday's game went off injured after coming back from a long injury. Terrell Malacia has come back but he is nowhere close to playing good football at all. वो तो मतलब भूल ही गया कि फुटबॉल कैसे खेलते हैं. So
Exactly.
that is that. Lenny Yoro is also just coming back from injury, so he is getting
I know. He's
acclimatized.
19.
He's
Did you know
19.
that?
Yeah, yeah, he is.
Would you accuse? Suppose if you were trying to be politically incorrect, would you accuse of wrong data entry, just a purely clerical error,
No, no,
accusing
he
him?
looks like a child. He looks like a. He's just tall, but he looks like a bachcha only. He looks like a proper child. He has not grown up yet. पर
True.
वो हो जाएगा. All the flashy bling and all will come soon. अभी तक नहीं हुआ है, which is a good place for
So
him
he
to be
just had
playing.
a cast.
Yeah,
Get well soon.
yeah.
Fling no.
from Tiffany and Co.
Yeah.
Balenciaga का cast है उसके पास.
Yeah, that's the
Uh,
highest he's had
that's the
before.
yeah. But yeah, well done Chelsea. Arsenal also dropped points. Surprisingly 0-0 against Everton. If Akash was here, he would still be depressed because he's Akash.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, Akash would be depressed even if Everton won the league. He'll be like,
Yeah,
so what?
yeah,
It is still one title compared to everybody else's.
yeah.
I
Yeah. That is
thought it
a
was amazing because, again, like Arteta's playing a certain kind of football, which we
yeah,
call clueless ball,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
And like Sean Dyche knows that. Like
yeah,
he knows that game inside out. He fucking
yeah,
invented it,
yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah,
He fucking perfected it. He is
yeah,
the air. True.
He is fucking Tom Hardy's Bale, man, to Batman.
Yeah.
He's fucking you thought you were born in the dark, you merely adopted it. I was
Yeah.
born in
Like
it. I
don't.
was molded by
I
it.
exactly. I think what Arteta is getting wrong is that I think the kind of ball that he's playing, it probably works against attacking sides like say your cities and your Tottenhams and your Liverpools. Um, but you cannot go to the any of the top bottom 10 teams and expect that strategy to work.
Yeah.
It just produces boring ass football,
Yeah.
and second, you make your team so apprehensive. Like there's so many back passes, they're just waiting for corners,
Yeah.
right? And Dice knows how to fucking
Yeah.
put corners away. Like
Yeah.
there's Tarkovsky for a reason. Like there's
Yeah.
no way
Yeah.
they're going to. I thought Arteta was very stupid
Yeah.
to not
I
use.
mean, Arteta brought a fucking knife to a knife fight where the people he's fighting against invented knives. Like, it's
Oof.
like
Mm,
it's like, I struggled a bit with that metaphor, but I got there in the end. Got there,
mm.
eventually reached the destination. But like Everton have conceded the least amount of goals. Like they've conceded fewer goals than Man City this season. So they're clearly a very good defensive side. And if you are going to take just your haram police ball to this, it's not
Yeah,
going to work, and it didn't.
it did.
But guys, trust the process. Trust the process because Arteta is the second coming of Jesus. So Arsenal is going to
200 million more, and maybe they can fix it.
yeah, absolutely.
Um,
Very quickly, Spurs also beat Southampton comprehensively 4-0 up within the first, 25 minutes, eventually
yeah,
ending the game 5-0, which resulted in Russell Martin getting the sack along with Gary O'Neill at
see,
Wolves as well.
I will tell you what Russell Martin did well, right? In my head, they technically won 4-0 because everyone thought this was Southampton's 9-0 of the season.
Yeah, yeah,
Everybody saw it
yeah,
coming, everybody
yeah,
thought it.
yeah,
In Russell Martin's defense, he stopped 4 goals from being
yeah.
scored.
That's true.
But,
That is the correct way of looking at it. Russell
oh,
Martin, well
I,
done. You have actually defended 4 goals as
he was
opposed to let in five.
this was
So yeah.
I was so shocked. I was like, 9, 10 goals. I'm
Dude,
like,
honestly, yeah, मैं भी देख रहा था मैच अपना इस पे देख रहा था प्रीमियर लीग ऐप पे. I was getting the updates. I was like, oh fuck, this is a 9-0. This is incoming. Maybe this is the one where they go 10 because
10. I've been dying to see 10 in
with
my lifetime.
with Postecoglou Spurs कुछ भी हो सकता है.
Yeah,
Anything can happen.
it could be a 10-6 also. Like, yeah,
It
I would put it could be a 10-6, but still, they will hit
yeah,
10.
yeah. So yeah, well done, Russell Martin for not letting more than 5 goals go. But unfortunately, you still paid for it with your job, which I think was coming because Southampton have been absolutely depressing this season.
Yeah.
Matlab, it is
Have they
the
had a victory? I don't even know if they've had a victory.
they've had maybe one. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
We'll
if
check
they
on
do,
that.
yeah,
But yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
So
it
it's
doesn't
like
matter.
Derby County, the
Yeah,
2007 season, I think.
yeah,
Or
yeah.
2002, 2003. I'm not sure which season they were terrible.
Yeah. I feel bad for Gary O'Neill at Wolves though, because I really like Gary O'Neill as a manager. He did such a good job at Bournemouth, and then for him to be sacked, yes, of course, Iraola's done a much better job at Bournemouth and he's taken them to the next level. But at Wolves also, his start at Wolves was quite good. Of course, this time around, it wasn't really working out, so I guess it makes sense because the table doesn't lie. And I hope Gary O'Neill gets a good job. But with the way the Wolves players have been fighting with staff of opposition teams and everything after games, because this happened 2 games in a row, once with Mario Lemina, then second time with Matthias Cunha and Ryan Aitnouri in the
Like,
last game. I feel like after Gary O'Neill, the next manager that Wolves need to appoint no is Steve McMahon,
I was
because
going to say
clearly
this.
those players have a strength. They
Yeah,
just need somebody to channel that strength. Steve
yeah, yeah.
McMahon, Triple H, Kurt Angle, सबको ले out, triple threat match.
Yep. They need someone to like. Okay, I completely agree. And like I think I don't know. I feel like we've been missing a dirty team, just a
Yeah,
fucking dirty team that just
yeah,
like that just it pokes a fan in the eye and then
yeah,
fucking like there
yeah,
are 7 red cards. They fucking cause some ligament tears for fun.
yeah,
Everton briefly was that team
yeah,
when Richarlison was playing for them and
yeah,
Pickford
yeah,
is to peak.
yeah.
But we've been missing that sort of a team in the Premier League, and I hope Wolves take up that spot.
Yeah.
They were the nice
Odds
team.
are that Solskjaer is going to be their next manager, so I don't think that will happen. He's the nicest guy around. He's going to make them like cute little teddy bears.
Oh no. Are you? What would your relationship be with Wolves?
Oh, I'd love it.
Wolves, at least.
I'd love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love it. I'd love it if Solskjaer got into Wolves and saved them from relegation in his first season. Fuck, that would be great.
Oh, that will be
I think he
fun.
can do it also. I think he'll
Yeah,
be
I
able to
think
do it
Wolves
also.
it's a very doable because Southampton's taken one spot, so that's
Yeah.
good.
West Ham probably have taken the other because they've still not sacked Lopetegui, which
Yeah.
is just astonishing. But yeah, it would be great if Solskjaer
So I
sorts
guess
them.
it's technically just avoiding one spot, which is a very
Yeah.
doable
Yeah.
task. So yeah.
Right. On that note, it is time to end this episode. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening to the Corner Flag. If you'd like to get in touch with us and tell us what you thought of this episode or of any of our nonsense, you can reach us on our social media. You can find Mukesh on Instagram at,
Mukesh Manjunath.
and you can find me on Instagram at Amograndive. You can also follow the Corner Flag on Instagram at CornerFlagPod. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/@cornerflagpod, or subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts from. Shout out to Kezad Gurda for composing our theme tune. And until next week, it is goodbye from us. So say bye, Mukesh.
Bye, guys.
And it's bye from me.